Welcome back to Victoria's tips and tricks on motivating kids with inspirational stories. It's all about a little Dino and his first day of school. Once upon a time, in a world much different than ours, there was a little dinosaur named Dippy. Dippy wasn't your typical dinosaur. With his long neck reaching up to the sky, a head the size of a small boulder, and a tail he could never seem to stop tripping over, he was quite the sight to behold. But today wasn't just any ordinary day for Dippy. No, today was Dippy's first day at school. Now, Dippy was a tad bit nervous, his heart fluttering like a butterfly caught in a whirlwind. What if I trip over my tail in front of everyone? He wondered. His mother, seeing his nervousness, gave him a reassuring nuzzle. "Don't worry, Dippy," she said. "You're going to make so many friends and learn so many new things. School is going to be a dynamite adventure." With a nervous but determined smile, Dippy heads off to school. The first challenge of the day was the school bus, or rather, the school dinosaur. Now, this wasn't your ordinary school bus. No, it was a giant turtle, a prehistoric version of a bus, if you will. Picture this, our little Dippy with his long neck and even longer tail trying to mount this colossal creature. It was quite the sight, let me tell you. Dippy tried to hoist himself onto the turtle, but his little legs kept sliding off the slippery shell. His tail, too, seemed to have a mind of its own, swishing and swinging, making the task even more challenging. It was a veritable dinosaur gymnastics routine. But don't worry, Dippy wasn't alone in his struggle. His classmates, a friendly bunch of Triceratops and Stegosaurus, came to his aid. With their help, Dippy finally managed to get aboard the turtle, his long neck held high with a newfound sense of achievement. With his first challenge conquered, Dippy felt a little more confident. As Dippy walked into his classroom, he saw dinosaurs of all shapes and sizes. His fellow classmates were just as varied and unique as the subjects they studied. From Volcano Eruptions 101, where they learned about the hottest topic in town, to herbivore etiquette, which was all about the fine dining manners of the leaf-eating set. In dino history, they didn't just go back a few hundred years. No, they delved deep into the recent Ice Age, a cool period of time that never failed to send shivers down their spines. It was a blast from the past, quite literally. Things got even more interesting in dinosaur biology. Dippy, ever the enthusiastic learner, sometimes mixed up his Tyrannosaurus with his Triceratops. This caused a roar of laughter in the classroom, the kind of laughter that shook the very ground they walked on. Dippy's face turned a shade of red that rivaled the most vibrant sunset. But you know what they say about laughter? It's the best kind of fossil fuel. Through the giggles and the grins, Dippy learned a valuable lesson that day. Yes, he made a mistake, and yes, it was a little embarrassing. But he also realized that it's okay to make mistakes. After all, they're a part of learning, a part of growing, and a part of being a dinosaur. Despite the laughter, Dippy learned that it's okay to make mistakes and that they're part of learning. When the lunch bell rang, Dippy was surprised to see a line of trees instead of a lunch counter. The school's cafeteria was a forest feast, with dinosaurs munching on treetops and bushes. The scene was a delightful chaos of crunching, munching, and laughter. Dippy, with his short arms, found it a bit challenging to reach the tasty leaves. He looked at the towering trees, then at his little arms, and a puzzled expression crossed his face. But then, a friendly Brachiosaurus, tall as the sky, noticed Dippy's struggle. With a gentle nudge of her long neck, she brought down a branch full of lush leaves for Dippy. He thanked her with a big, toothy grin. Dippy learned that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. As the sun started to set, it was time to go home. The day had been filled with new experiences for Dippy, our brave dinosaur student. His heart swelled with pride as he reflected on his first day at school. He had made new friends, each one as unique and interesting as the last. He had learned fascinating facts about the world around him, and most importantly, he had discovered the power of making mistakes and seeking help. Yes, there were hiccups along the way, but they were all part of this fantastic learning journey. As Dippy hopped on the school dinosaur, a smile spread across his face. He was excited to come back the next day. After all, being a dinosaur in school was dynamite fun.